Hey there, it's Steven. We're in the middle of a series where I'm talking about building retractable ceilings for the open-air bedrooms of the church house that we own. We're 2 videos in. The first one is about the problem statement, and the second one is about the requirements. If you haven't watched these ones, go back into the channel and take a look before continuing on. Before I move on to the design phase, I thought it would be important to give a little more detail about the problem. Specifically the physical constraints of these bedrooms, which do have a pretty big impact on what we're able to do. I'm here in the church house. I'm going to give you a tour of each of the bedrooms and show you what these constraints are. Okay, so first thing, I'm going to give you an overhead view of the bedrooms and how they relate to each other. So for simplicity's sake, we're going to number these bedrooms from east to west. There's 4 bedrooms that will need a ceiling. So we'll call this one bed 1, bed 2, bed 3, and bed 4. There is a 5th bedroom, and it's located under the balcony here. That one actually then does have a ceiling, so we're not going to worry about that one for now. So the things to notice from here, these 2 things between the bedrooms are actually bathrooms. And we have a little bit of space on top of the bathrooms that we could put something if we need to. But obviously we can't just demolish those or alter anything. That's one of my requirements. No demolition, rearranging of rooms or walls. It has to work with the current layout of these rooms. The other thing to notice from this top view is along the full length of the building nearly, on top of this wall that separates the main area from the bedrooms, is that HVAC vent. So we're going to have to work around that as well. The first bedroom that we're going to look at is bed 3. This one is most likely going to be the simplest to work with. It is not that big. It's only 13 feet wide and 14 feet deep. And it's just a complete square, if we look around the top. So this will be the one that I will do first when I'm starting to build and prototype. You can see here that vent at the top that we're going to have to figure out some way for air to travel from that vent down into the bedroom while the ceiling is over it. Otherwise, it might get a bit chilly in the room. The other thing to note that applies to all 4 of these bedrooms is the stained glass window, which when you look from this view, you can see it indents into the wall by about 18 inches. Now, the problem that this might cause, if we build a ceiling that's just a square that covers the bedroom, it's going to leave a gap in this window. And I have a feeling that's going to be a problem for sound, which I think will be able to reflect off that window around the ceiling pretty nicely and cause problems for the quietness of the room. The next one is directly next door, bed 2. This is a pretty similar size. It's about 14 by 14. Also has the stained glass window, but in this case, instead of being centered, it's right up against the wall there. The only thing that will matter, we'll need a little renovation for this one, is above the closets here. On one side, we have a full height wall. On the other side, we have a wall that just goes over the closet. I think I'm going to solve this simply by extending that full height wall so that when we put a ceiling on, we can have it at the top and have it extend all the way over. Other than that, we've got the wall there and the vent at the top. Continuing to move east, we're now in bed 1. This is the largest of the bedrooms. It's considered the master. That's going to be the biggest challenge here to deal with. It's got a full 21-foot span going this way and a 13-foot span going this way. It's also got this little triangle indent in the corner that whatever we have is going to need to work around a bit. And then it's also got this stained glass window. This one's an even deeper indent. This is something like 2 or 2.5 feet deep. So once again, that will be something to figure out how to get a ceiling to extend into if we want real sound isolation. And finally, the most challenging of the bunch, bed 4. This one for one, is decently large. This extends about 17 feet laterally, and then 13 feet deep, or 14 feet deep like the others. However, the biggest challenge with bed 4 will be this. The balcony extends partially over the bedroom, and it is supported by this gorgeous gold-leafed column here. Great for the looks, but it's going to cause a big problem when we have to have something that extends or moves to cover the whole bedroom, but you can't wrap around that column. So I'm not exactly sure. I've been thinking about this now for practically over a year, of ways to still achieve that visual and sound isolation without cutting out that column or doing some other solution that really doesn't look very good, ruins the aesthetic. So if any of you have ideas, brilliant ideas for how to come up with a solution that overcomes that constraint and still looks good, drop it in the comments, and I'm open to anything. Well, that's about it. Thanks for watching this bonus video. Next, we'll have the video where we start to get into the design. We consider all the constraints and all the requirements, start churning out ideas. So I hope you join me then.